When they go low, we go high. He can go
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Off. It's total bull.
I think I could kick most of their ass. I do think.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Don't sleep on that beep, right? Democrats struggling to get the message, across as the censorship beepers go on overdrive. Leaders of the party prioritizing profanity before the policy initiative. So Aishah Hasnie's got the follow-up on the Hill. This is the strategy from many, not from all, but from many. Aishah, what are you hearing? Hello.
Well, hell's bells, Bill and Dana. Good morning to you. We have been astounded here on the Hill at the number of expletives being just lodged all over the place, whether it's in hearings, in the hallways, you name it. It's happening from House and Senate Democrats. The list is long, but here are a couple of examples just in the past couple of weeks here. So just this week, Senator Tammy Duckworth called Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth a effing liar. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett got major blowback for calling Governor Abbott Governor Hot Wheels and then calling him a hot blank mess. Democrats keep referring to Elon Musk as the D word, even in congressional hearings. And who can forget, Bill, the scripted bleep that ain't true videos posted by Senate Democrats earlier this month. So Democrats did just come back from getting an earful from their base that wants them to fight much harder, but the profanity is off the charts. So I asked Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, what's going on?
Do you think this is the best tactic and the smartest way to connect with voters?
People are concerned, anxious, frightened, scared, and all of the above. And so you see Democratic members across the country channeling those feelings in a variety of different ways.
Now, Jeffries was also asked about the Hot Wheels comment, and he said that he hadn't spoke to Jasmine Crockett just yet, referred to her statement. So don't expect any of these Democratic leaders to really try to, go make this go away, the potty mouth go away. It seems like they're really just defending their members. Bill?
Aisha, thanks. AC/DC's calling, too, by the way. You got that, right? Thank you from the Hill. Dana.
All right, let's bring in my co-host on the 5, Jessica Tarlov, and assistant editor of the Wall Street Journal.
Hello,
James Freeman. Great to have you.
Great to be here.
We've noticed this. We've been showing it on the 5 and elsewhere across the channel. Van Jones over at CNN, he noticed it as well. He thinks it's no bueno. Why?
I think that this party is scrambling, trying to seem tough. And I'm seeing this party traffic in a lot of curse words. That's supposed to be like the new cool thing to do. I don't think that that's going to be as useful. I've even heard Pete Buttigieg with a whole bunch of curse words. I don't know who gave that memo. I don't think that's very useful.
The other thing is, not only did Pete Buttigieg say it, but he wrote it in a tweet as if this is successful strategy. You think?
Yeah. I think a well-timed F-bomb obviously can have great effect, but when it feels like a chorus, it detracts from the message. And it allows people to go with another narrative than you want the conversation to be revolving around. James and I were just talking in the green room about this, and I said, I still feel like the people we're sending to Washington, I want them to be better than me. I curse sometimes. And, never on television, but, in conversation, especially when I want to make an emphatic point. But we are trying to send our best to Washington. And sometimes the moment demands it. I don't begrudge Tammy Duckworth her F-bomb about Signalgate and what's going on with Secretary Hegseth. But I don't want to hear it in a chorus. I don't want anyone to be able to say, I think that this is what they're trying to do. They got some sort of directive to be cursing.
James?
Okay.
I think maybe this party needs Jess to run to bring some dignity.
You and Van too much.
I think, Van was asking whose memo was this. You try to explain what seems to be irrational behavior, and I think one possibility is that some overpaid consultants told them, well, we're hemorrhaging young voters. Young people swear a lot more than old people, so maybe this is a way to appear to be authentic. Jess was talking about how, some of it may be sincere anger, but I think the flood of this, it does make you wonder whether it's a strategy and not a good one.
There's a Washington Post article that said this, that there's a populist uprising that stirs among Democrats furious at their leaders, saying that when asked to offer an assessment Of the party, many attendees used the word weak and lame. And then you had the vice presidential choice under Harris, Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, say this last night.
We let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them.
Jessica, this actually drives me crazy because I don't necessarily want Democrats to win, but I think, how could you be this ridiculous? It was the actual open border that has made people mad. It was the actual result of the DEI policies that made people mad, not the failure to message.
No, certainly on the immigration issue. And when you listen to any border state Democrat talk about this, like Senators Kelly, Gallego, et cetera, they understand exactly what happened. And they had been messaging differently from the core of the Democratic Party on it. They had broken with Harris-Walz and Biden-Harris before that and said, no, there actually is a crisis on the border. We're seeing it every day. And they got rewarded. Gallego ran ahead of Kamala Harris. He not only beat Carrie Lake, but he ran ahead of the top of the ticket there, talking about immigration.
Could I just say, he hit on the 3 hot-button issues that decided the election. Yeah. I mean, immigration, DEI, and woke. He says, you're damn right, we're proud of these policies. He's making the case they didn't fight hard enough for them, James.
Yeah, well, they were...
This is where the rub's going to come in between the Democratic progressives and the rest of Jessica's party.
Well, I think one conclusion may be that he and others are worried about the dissolution of the modern Democratic Party. I think this goes beyond primary challenges. The fact that he is pretending that these are popular positions, even though they obviously cost them a lot of seats in November...
Well, just to be clear, he believes these policies.
Right.
And others believe it as well. I don't know what the percentages of the party, but they're not going to unhook themselves from what he's describing there on stage, James.
I think not. I mean, you could go back and say they never should have welcomed Bernie Sanders into this party, a party he's never joined, by the way.
If you listen
maybe they're
to
worried
Bernie
now
Sanders,
he goes off and makes Democratic Socialist Party a thing. I don't know how else to explain this behavior. 20 years ago in Washington, members of both parties across the aisle regarded Bernie reasonably as a kook. Now he has the core, the heart of the Democratic Party, and they're trying to figure out how to manage this. And I think the Walz reaction says that they think the whole thing is coming apart. Otherwise, it's just inexplicable behavior. We know these issues didn't
people
work.
like him, they're trying to keep it together.
Yes, I think that's it.
Quick last word.
Listen to Bernie Sanders talk about illegal immigration last weekend with Jonathan Karl. That's what Bernie Sanders actually thinks about it. He's quite conservative on it. Also, look at the results of these special elections. Democrats flipping Trump plus 15 seats in Pennsylvania. Elise Stefanik isn't going to be the ambassador to the UN because Republicans are scared that Democrats are going to flip those seats. So what Tim Walz is talking about is not in step with who's winning. Look at the blue dog Democrats who are winning races with moderates all over the country.
Okay,
all right.
Debate for next week. We'll see if you're right about that. Thank you, Jess.
Yep, guys, great to see you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, happy weekend.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.